The last emperor of Vietnam, Bao Dai, built not one, but 3 vacation palaces in Dalat, and it's easy to see why. From beautiful scenery, to ideal weather, to delicious food, and some of the world's finest coffee, what is there to not love about this emerald of the Vietnamese Central Highlands? Dalat is a playground for the Vietnamese and foreigners alike. This is especially true for the people of Saigon. For them, it is an escape from the sultry and polluted air of the noisy city. Our weekend in Dalat starts early. We took a night bus from Saigon and arrived at 5 in the morning. We watched the sun rise over the lake, rented a motorbike, and found a random Hue Tiu restaurant for breakfast. It is over these noodles that we start planning our trip. Our first stop is Sun Pakamara Specialty Coffee for a master's course in coffee.
Acceptable, you like the body or aftertaste?
The owner of the farm introduces us to the origins and development of many different kinds of coffee. Dalat is 1,500 meters above sea level. The climate is perfect for planting coffee. Mr. Sun knows more about growing and processing coffee than anyone I've ever met. He's the Buddha, the great teacher of coffee. You'll notice there are no perfectly manicured rows. The coffee is almost wild. The plants that are allowed to grow around the coffee are carefully permitted to remain, as different plants affect the soil and help the coffee reach its full potential. Lemongrass helps scare off insects. Bananas raise the potassium and sugar levels. After a dizzying lesson on coffee farming, we're off to their roastery and cafe, just a short drive away. Just when we think our coffee education is over, we are submerged once again in the world of coffee. Our barista explains every blend, roast, and grind like a sommelier of fine wines. He leaves nothing to chance. The beans are carefully weighed and freshly ground for each cup. An exact amount of water at the perfect temperature is added over the beans. A swirl to aerate, and finally the brew is ready. Maybe Alice and I are cheap coffee dates. Our Philistine tongues are incapable of picking up on the notes and nuances. Perhaps we're just too lowbrow to interpret the symphony that we're told we're tasting. Now that we're rocking a caffeine buzz, it's time for some thrills on the cable car. Well, for me it's a leisurely ride with enchanting views of the countryside. But for Alice, it's a nerve-wracking, white-knuckle, adrenaline-fueled cage of her worst nightmares. The mountains in the distance, the trees, the sky, are all making a beautiful picture. Finally, at the top, it's time to take a look around. This is the overlook. People can stand here to enjoy the view and take pictures. Or they can pay some money and use the binoculars and telescopes to see the scenery up close. There's a vegetarian buffet here as well, but we didn't have the chance to go there. Opposite of the cable station is Chuklam Temple. So people usually visit both places at the same time. Chuklam Pagoda may be a bit crowded with tourists and pilgrims, but its flower gardens are still peaceful. Many different kinds of flowers are planted here. Most people go here to make wishes with Buddha and enjoy flowers and take some photos to keep their memories. From the pagoda, we can see our next destination, Twin Lam Lake. The lake is unbelievably serene and calm. It reminds me of my college days when we would visit the Colorado Rockies. We stop at one of the many roadside pop-up cafes, bask in the scenery, and sip some yogurt made with fresh local strawberries. We aren't just out for a leisurely drive, though. Our destination is the Dalat Clay Tunnel. It started to rain, but the silver lining is that there's no crowds to edit out of our pictures. For a small admission fee, you can see the longest clay architectural tunnel in the world. It is considered a must-see when visiting Dalat. There's no cultural or historical significance, but it's nice to have a peaceful walk through the fantastic artwork, and it's a great place to take pictures if you're a shutterbug. Before coming here, I didn't think it was such a big place with so many different designs. We're feeling beat, so we grab some chow veit for dinner and head back to the hotel for a power nap. After a nice cat nap, we're feeling rejuvenated and ready to hit the town. Just a short drive from our hotel is the night market next to Swan Hung Lake. You can find everything here. Local delicacies, souvenirs, warm clothes, you name it. But you gotta try the street food. We're having some warm soy milk. It's morning, and time for another day of driving through the winding roads of Dalat looking for adventure. We make a quick stop to check out Ichigo's strawberry farm. There's not much to say about it. Like many places in Dalat, it has a good view, some photo ops, and delicious strawberries. We leave the strawberry farm and start heading to one of Emperor Baodai's palaces. But I'm feeling thirsty and groggy, so coffee sounds like just the trick. You can get coffee anywhere in Vietnam, but when you're in Dalat, why not get coffee with a view? With a good pick-me-up in us, we're ready for some touring. We arrive at Emperor Baodai's third palace, his summer palace. It's like a time capsule to the 1950s. A quick looky-loo tour, and we're starving for brunch. Lao Ba is just the ticket. We have some goi ba as an appetizer to the main hot pot course. A 30-minute drive south of the city will take you to the chicken village. The only attraction is a very large chicken statue. The story of the chicken is fascinating. A young couple wanted to marry, so the groom's family demanded an impossible dowry, a chicken with 9 spurs. The girl went into the forest to find one, but was never seen again. Concerned for her, the groom went to find her, and he died as well. After this incident, elders of the village realized this dowry practice stood in the way of true love, so the village erected a giant wooden statue of a 9-spurred chicken so that any future young couples could offer it as the dowry. And so, our final stop is Linh Phúc Pagoda. Decorated from over 12,000 broken ceramics, Linh Phúc is awe-inspiring. We highly recommend it on your tour of Dalat. It has the largest statue of Quan Thế Âm,